Hello, hello, everyone. I am so happy to be back. I'm just going to let people come on and yeah, just going to give everybody a minute to hop on here. How's everybody doing today? Can you, and like, let me know if you can hear me, because I know that the last two shows, like people were saying that they couldn't hear me and that it was really low. So just let me know in the comments if my voice is loud and clear so that we can actually continue and you can all hear me. All right. All right. Okay. I'll just continue because I think we're good. I'm pretty sure we're good with the volume. So welcome back to the Sacred Mysteries Show. 5 on 5. I got it. Thank you. Modini, yes, loud and clear. Yes, fine. Amazing. Oh, so how are we doing? How is everybody doing? I decided that today, actually, you know what? Let's get some housekeeping stuff done before I hit the channel and start going right in. So those of you that are coming on here, don't forget to hit up the Beyond Mystic platform and go to YouTube or the Rumble channel, hit like, share. Lots of amazing shows on there, lots of amazing people and teachers and all kinds of beautiful things happening on the Beyond Mystic platform. And yeah, I just wanted to, just seriously welcome everybody back. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. I have been hibernating. Yeah, like just really, hello, greetings from Ireland. Hello, Ireland. Oh, I love Ireland. I was there 2 years ago. It's so beautiful. And Australia. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Yes, I have been hibernating in Canada's winter. I've just been really respecting this time of rest and nurture. And as most of you may already know, because I've spoken about it so many times, that I really choose to live. I'm actually very fortunate, actually, I should say, to be able to live in alignment to the natural cycles of the seasons. So when winter comes along, it is definitely time for rest and rejuvenation and nurture. Yeah, so I haven't been producing much. And I just wanted to, slowly make my way back here. And so much has been happening, like literally so much. Hello, everybody. Everybody's popping on saying hello. Welcome. Yeah, so much has been transpiring collectively. I don't really watch the news, although of course I'm on different social media platforms. But yeah, how are we feeling about all of these interesting things that have been transpiring collectively? I love kind of unraveling certain aspects. What I find is really cool is that because I don't necessarily attach myself so much to like news channels and all of this, when I go inward and like when I'm really in sort of like my inner winter time, my channel becomes really open. I'm really able to receive a lot of the different energetics and frequencies that are like coming into my field. And what's interesting sometimes is when I sort of come out of like deep inner work or deep like meditation and all of these other things, it just so happens that a lot of the drops that I get or the insights that I get are very in tune and in alignment with a lot of the things that are happening globally, right? So yeah, I definitely like to unravel a little bit of that today. And of course, the show is called The Sacred Mysteries. And even for me, oftentimes it's a whole mystery as to what I am going to talk about or present today. But seeing as it's sort of like my first show back from a little bit of a hiatus, what I would love to do is really offer this platform and this time to you all if you have like deeper questions. I love working off other people's energies. And so, some of the questions that can come in, I'd love to unravel that with you. And then we can, maybe unfold into like greater topics. Yeah, and anything that I can support is really what I'm here to do. And of course, I don't have all the answers, but if I don't have one, you can be sure that I'll likely find it somehow for you. So, um, yeah, so don't be afraid. Just, I'm watching the comments right now. So if you guys have any kind of questions about, hey, like, what is my sense on, this thing that's happening in the world? Or if you guys have any questions around like spirituality or like nervous system work or, yeah, the mystery, the great mystery or priestessing or womb work, there's many, many topics that we can really dive into. Of course, I only have an hour, so I can't like, you know, do a whole workshop on things here, but I would love to just open the doors to that for you all. So, yeah. So while I wait for these questions to come in, oh, I'm getting questions already. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay. What is this here? About a year ago, okay, Giovanna Benancio. Okay, about a year ago, I saw a blue-white orb in the morning sky. That's beautiful. It zigzagged and disappeared. I was speechless and amazed. Yeah. Yeah, so like different lights, right? Different lights is different intelligence, different frequencies, right? They'll come in and out in orb. We have, I mean, throughout time and history, there's been so many different sightings and like people feel into different things. Like, what could they be? What I like to feel into, because of course, like I wasn't present to your experience, but I've had experiences myself like that, where that frequency or that light offers like coded information. And so just being witness to it and present to it, you can actually really feel into like what teaching or what message is in it there for you. I have personally never had any experience with anything that's been like malevolent in that form. It's all been very benevolent. So it's just a matter of communication. So yeah, beautiful share. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So let's, something that's kind of been actually, I'm going to say this. So something that's really been on my heart lately, and I've just been, oh, I actually wrote a whole, I guess if you want to call it article, blog, on my newsletter. So I'll talk to you guys later about how you can actually read that. But I wrote a whole piece the other day on how discernment and how, well, first of all, I truly believe that discernment is going, or is our, or it is a superpower, I should say. And it's really going to be very necessary to develop fluency in discernment as we continue to move through like 2025, 2026, and like future years. Why is that? There's many reasons why, which is what I wrote about in this article and this blog. And really, it all comes down to being able to discern and decipher what is true and what is not true. And for over the last, I mean, especially in these last like 5 years, like what have we been able to learn from our collective experience with much of, whether that's like the shadow or the deceptive systems and all of this, like all of this stuff that's coming to the forefront for us, it is getting increasingly more difficult, especially those who may not necessarily be on like a deeper inner journey or a deeper spiritual path or a deeper connected path to themselves within embodied. Okay. So what's happening is that it's getting more and more difficult to decipher what is in fact true and what is not true. And truth, which I'm sure most people here have heard me speak about before, really has to come like from a felt sense, right? Like we know in our bones when we feel like something is just really off, right? And the more we sort of dissolve any sort of ego attachment to a belief system. So let me get into this. We all grow up around various culture. And when I say culture, I mean it could be family culture, religious culture, friends and family. Like I say, like, friends, or it could be, whatever is transpiring in like our school culture, government culture. Like, I mean, we have a billion and one different kinds of culture that we are immersed in every day from the time that we are this big. And all of that culture imprints very specific beliefs and values on like our being, right? Those imprinted values and beliefs then dictate how we express or not express ourselves throughout our life. Okay. So it's one thing when we are very attached from the ego mind, from the space of the mind, to a particular belief system, right? Or a particular value system that was imprinted, right? So it's like what we value is really based on what we were taught to value, versus when we actually jump on a really deep healing journey and we begin to really look within and take responsibility for our healing and look in the mirror and say, okay, what is out of alignment? Like, why am I so uncomfortable in my skin? Why am I so, anxious? Why am I so depressed? Why am I so out of alignment and like disconnected? When we begin to take responsibility, what we start understanding is that, oh, wait a minute, our values and our beliefs are actually out of alignment with the values that our soul came here to embody. Okay. You guys following me? So when we begin that unravel of like, who am I really? What do I believe really? Right? We begin to descend from the space of the mind and the ego and the mental construct into more of a felt sense, heart-led, right? We can even, as women, we descend even further down into the womb, and we can actually begin to connect to something that is much more ancient and much more true, that we feel literally from our bones. So if we are choosing this kind of path, we then become much better at learning how to decipher and discern what is being fed to us from a collective standpoint. Okay. So let's just take what's happening in the world today. I'm like, there's a lot happening in the world today. Okay. So I'm just going to say, like, there's so much talk on, like, the inauguration and Trump and all of these things, and like the Elon Musks. And I mean, there's so much noise out there. Okay. And where on one hand, it's great that we are in awareness of what I like to call the circus. Okay. It's a big circus out there, and there are many people playing many different roles for very strategic reasons. Okay. And if there's one thing that, my past entrainment, like when I was a police officer and when I was working undercover in covert operations, if there's one thing, it taught me many things, but if there's one thing I can actually thread and relate to, the entrainment of how I now see and discern as a result of this experience as, like a police officer, was number one, learning how to read patterns. Learning how to read patterns. And when we can learn how to take an eagle eye view, not get so caught up in the story, right? Not get so caught up in all of the like, oh, he said this and she said this. And it's like, if we can take an eagle eye view and like literally watch, and like, for those of you out there that are like really good with, like mapping out finances, or like you're really into crypto and you like looking at the graphs and like all the charts, and you can like start reading the charts, everything has a pattern. Literally, the universe is all about pattern. It's mathematical. It's sacred geometry. It's geometrical, right? And I can get into like the depth of patterns later, but essentially what I'm trying to say is when we can take an eagle eye view on, okay, there's a pattern repeating itself here. What we're able to do is we're able to actually decipher, hey, we've got some good cops, we've got some bad cops, right? They're all role players. And what I like to say is when we have this good cop, bad cop, right? And we like, it's funny. It's like imagine an interrogation, right? Imagine you're being interrogated by good cop, bad cop, right? And you're getting thrown all this information at you. You know, good cop has a role to play, bad cop has a role to play. You know, you're in there being interrogated, you're getting all this information, which I like to say is sort of like the psyops of the world, or all the little breadcrumbs that the government wants to throw you of like, oh, look, we're removing this, or and like we're making good on this. And it's like all of these like really good leads, right? That's coming in from the good cop. And what's coming in from the bad cop? Your mental capacity to be able to hold like everything that's being thrown at you is not yet so evolved that we can actually, as human beings, that we can actually like retain that. We end up really forgetting. We go into like amnesia. Okay. Meanwhile, while you're getting interrogated and there's good cop and bad cop, guess who's behind the, I say like the frosted mirror, right? There's a third party orchestrating this whole thing. And so what I'm saying is that like what we're seeing oftentimes coming through the collective, whereas like, you know, oh, you know, this politician or this like president was like a piece of crap and he did all like the shittiest things. And yeah, for sure. You know, and then this one comes in and starts saving the day and pulling up all the shadows and talking all the truths and is like, oh yay, you know, like here's a new savior. No, 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 beware. There is something else happening, right? There's something else being orchestrated while all of this is happening. Are you guys following me here? Right? So I think the point that I'm trying to make is like what I'm feeling into right now, which I actually wrote about, coming back to what I was saying about like I wrote a big newsletter on this actually. And sometimes I can express myself a little better in writing, just depending on like where I'm at. Like some days it's like I'm way better at writing and other days I'm way better at talking. So go figure. But I'm really feeling into this whole, like what I call like the technocracy, like democracy and technocracy. I don't know. But basically it's this movement with AI. Okay. And what I'm seeing and what I'm sensing, whew, like I don't even have enough time to unravel this in this show, that's for sure. But it's not to perpetuate any kind of fear, okay? Because a lot of the advancements in technology are, yeah, they're great. They're useful, they're helpful, they're great, all depending on how we use them, right? But if there's one thing that you can all take away from this show today, in my message to you all, is that your humanity at this time in the collective is a hot commodity. Okay. And your DNA has been the hot commodity since the beginning of humanity on this planet. And what I want to say, right, is that yes, AI and technological development and everything that's happening with this technocracy, I can't even say the word, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Everything that's happening, right? Like AI has come so far now, like it has literally like surpassed our wildest imaginations. Okay. We've got quantum computers being built to replicate the womb. right? What is the womb? The void, the cosmic space, a black hole, right? Portals, right? You following me? We have AI developing like advancements in DNA, learning how to change and evolve human DNA. We've got AI like really learning about human consciousness, like right down to the point of trying to figure out God, source. Okay. And I'll probably have to do another show on this because I'm just giving you like the tip of the iceberg of like what I'm sensing and feeling into. But here's the thing is that when we are not in our body as human beings, we are disconnected from truth. We are disconnected from the divine. Okay? Because the divine is found within here. We can take it back to the esoteric teachings and like ancient mysteries of ancient Egypt, right? They were masterful at understanding the divine human and what that meant as a bridge between the worlds. And like our potential, our human potential, the potential of our DNA from an organic perspective, not a synthetic perspective, right? We have AI developing medical treatments, right, that are up and coming and that will be put out there, right? And for those who really believe that their body cannot heal, we're going to see a movement towards that. So I'm just like putting like little tips in the iceberg here, but I'm really like, it's not to, like I said, it's not to fear AI because AI will become what we feed it. While, kids play video games, AI is learning. While we were on lockdown, on our phones in our house, we were training AI. We were training AI to learn our patterns, to learn our linguistics, to learn, our egoic ways, our loving ways, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. It's very interesting. I've been really feeling into this a lot more because we are just like this evolution is happening at like quantum speed. And I really believe, as a result of so much of the disconnect that we have collectively, and as within, so without, the whole point is like the more we run from healing and healing on all aspects, like the more we have our like foggy minds, or the more that we are in trauma loops, the more that we are just disconnected from the source within, the easier we are controlled, right? And what happens is that the more we stay in those denser states of consciousness, right, the less evolved and the less rejuvenated our actual DNA can be, right? So anyway, I just wanted to say all that. That was really what's kind of been on my heart lately. In so many ways, I can get into this, but oh, okay. Here's another question. I'm going to pull up this question here. Bum, bum, bum. Are there particular gemstone energies you are drawn to or use? Yes. Well, and there's quite a bit. So they will, like, different gemstones will actually present themselves to me depending on where I'm at on my journey and where my energy's at. Maybe it's that, maybe I'm looking to heal deeper layers of something specific. And then all of a sudden, I'll come into a different kind of stone. I've been working with stones and crystals for a very long time. But it's just like, it's a simple tool. I don't, like, I'm not only about like gems and crystals, but essentially obsidian is a really big one. I love obsidian for so many things. Obsidian comes in different, it's like usually black. So it is a lava based stone, and it comes in like a rainbow color. It comes in a gold, like you can actually see gold running through the obsidian, silver. There's a green obsidian, a very rare blue obsidian as well. So obsidian is one of my favorites. I love regular, beautiful Lemurian quartz crystal. Let me see. And of course, anything blue. I love like everything blue is just, it's really oracular for me, and it's always very supportive. So those are the three that my top three, that I'm always drawn to, and I'll use in ceremony, I'll use in ritual, I'll use it for, different aspects of my journey. So yeah, thank you for asking. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, guys. Any more questions? Does anybody have any questions at all? I'm going to go through this and see if I've missed anything. Oh, greetings from England. Hello. Greetings. Alberta. Hi. Yeah. Amazing. I love this. Yeah. So if you guys are actually interested in reading, first of all, the newsletter that I had put out, like, go to my website. You can actually go on my website. Oh, thank you, Shiva. I'm glad I'm back too. You can go to my website, and on my website, it'll say, join newsletter. I'm actually going to send out the newsletter tomorrow. It's a good read. So you'll want to grab a cup of tea and maybe just go through that. And then I'm always open for feedback in terms of, questions or insights that you might get from some of the pieces that I write. Yeah. So just do that. Hi from New Zealand. My daughter really wants to go to New Zealand. Like, she has been asking to go to New Zealand for a while. So I might visit one day. So I would love that. Hello. Yeah, let me see. Where else can we go with this? Yeah, a couple of you have actually emailed me and been asking if I have any like particular things, offerings and, other things coming up. And like I said, I've been taking the winter to really, really hunker down, but I do have a couple of things in the making. And yeah, I'm happy to share them with you. They're not fully out yet. They will be coming out shortly, but let's start with what I have going for the Beyond Mystic viewers. So many women have come to me with burning questions and a deeper desire to heal their womb. And as an initiated and legally ordained priestess, the womb, womb energetics, whether that's, womb, like healing the physical aspects of womb, or supporting the metaphysical aspects and the energetic aspects of womb, is really a big part of the work I do with women. When I work with women, with men, I've actually even had men come to me and ask a lot about how they can support their partners or how they can support their daughters. And that is just so beautiful. Like, it really makes me emotional because it's so needed and it's so important. So yes, I will be offering through the Beyond Mystic platform beginning next week. Don't try to book now. It's not up. It'll be up next week. But I will be offering womb consultations through the Beyond Mystic platform that you guys can go on and just read a little bit about what the session is. And yeah, these are consultations. Just like anything else, healing takes time. It's a process. My intention for these consultations is, like, especially like the first one, is really to give you a map and a deeper understanding based on where you're at, what your intentions are, what your goals are, on how to support, heal, or connect deeper with your womb. Because as women, as you all know, we have been very, very disconnected in so many ways for, millennia, sometimes even purposefully, right? From understanding the empowerment we gain and the sovereignty we gain as women from understanding that the womb is our compass, right? And that we must descend from the space of the mind into the womb to really be able to find that direction and navigate our life in alignment to truth. Okay. So I will be offering those. So I'm really happy about that. Let me see here. What else? Yeah, I've got, oh my goodness. I literally just saw this here. It says, okay, I have to say this because I was literally leading into this. So I said, there's Andy369 here. Let me put this up 2 seconds. Hi, Sylvia. Love your connection. Kiwi fan here with Nubian hubby. Have lived in Egypt and Turkey. Hello. So I was literally getting on the topic of Egypt. But basically, those of you who have been asking, I did mention it in a show previously, but Egypt 2025 for October is going to be back on. So I will be running another pilgrimage to Egypt, and I will let, as soon as the finer details have been completed, there is a group from last year who will be getting those details first because they were all so excited. They had booked with me. And then, of course, all the legalities with the visas in Canada did not make that possible. But that has now been fixed. So I am coming back out with another pilgrimage to Egypt. So be on the lookout for that. That'll also be on my website. And yeah, I've got just a couple of things coming up in terms of, yeah, some breath workshops for the Beyond Mystic platform. A lot of people are really asking for, different tools and modalities that they can, use to, number one, expand their nervous system, heal the nervous system, heal and decalcify the pineal gland. So many aspects. And so I have a lot of, I think, beautiful things that I'm going to share with you guys on shamanic breath work, how we can implement that. I'm actually going to do that with you guys. And then learning a lot of the esoteric concepts behind like how we literally can tap into what I love, well, what I call, our secret ions or sacred secretions. Anyways, this is a whole thing. So look out for that. That's going to be on its way. Let me see what else. I know I'm forgetting things, but yeah, let me see what I've got here. I've got, here, Earth Dragon J. What is the best way to use Lemurian crystals? I mean, that's a big question. So here, let me see if I can find you mine. I'm going to show you what I use. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see this. Right, there we go. Yeah. So I literally use this for the heart space. I use it in many of my, actually this piece here has sat on the foot of Sekhmet inside her temple in Egypt. It was initiated there. The best way to use Lemurian crystal, let me see. Again, number one, your unique soul code and your unique DNA is going to work in collaboration and in relationship to the crystal. So even if I give you tips and tricks, which I'm happy to do, it's always going to be a little different in the way you communicate with it and it communicates with you, right? It can be a very felt vibratory sensation that you can actually feel like from a somatic space, or sometimes you might get visions and downloads. But essentially, you're going to want to clear your crystal, like whenever you get it, you're going to want to clear it. What I do is I use simple salt water, right? And I just rinse it with salt water. I'll give it a good little smudge. If it's Lemurian crystal, I like to put it in the sun. I do not use moonlight for my crystals. That's going to be another show on the sacred mysteries that we're going to get into, because something else, just as a side note, that I'm really, really wanting to bring forth more and more is the understanding of the eradication and the return of the solar feminine, which, by the way, is going to be the entire concept around the pilgrimage to Egypt. So the solar feminine. I have personally come into some very deep experiences that were really amplified over the winter, over solstice, on the understanding of deeper consciousness and codes over a lot of the distortions from like the lunar energies. And I'm not making the show about this right now, but that's why I don't use the moon for any of my crystals. I use the sun. And basically, the only one that I would not put in the sun would be obsidian, because it's, it's just, it'll start to like erode the color. But obsidian I bury in the earth. So, and you can even do that with your Lemurian crystal. You can actually bury it in beautiful soil in the earth, and it'll gain the energetics of the earth because it's a mineral, right? So you're going to recharge it in that way. And then, really just learn how to be with it. Like, really, like, be with the crystal. This is another form of water. It holds code, just like the waters of your body. Cellular memory is in the crystal, right? It holds a vibration. So it's really learning how to meet that vibration in presence. Did that help? Let me know if that was helpful, because I can go on and on about this, but those are just some little points. Let me see here. What else do I have? Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of new comments. Okay. Yes, thank you. It is a gorgeous piece. I've had it for a very long time. Okay. Yeah, I did. I think I answered that, correct? Earth dragons. Yep. Yeah, the crystal from Egypt's Western Desert. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How are we doing on time here? We got 20 minutes. All right. If there's any specific, I have a question about, this looks like, here we go. I have a question about sacrifice. We need to play with the energies without hurting another. Okay. What might be your question? Can you elaborate on that question? It's more of a statement. We need to play with the energies without hurting one another. Yes, I fully agree. Yeah, about sacrifice. I'll let that one go. And if you want to elaborate on that, then I'm happy to elaborate as well when I can. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, so a couple of things coming up. In terms of different offerings. Let me see what else is there. Yeah, we've got the womb consults coming up. Oh, we've got the Beyond Mystic conference. I don't know if any of you here watching have actually bought tickets for the conference. I will be there. I can't wait to see everybody. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, guys. Like, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of really cool things happening at the conference, and I'm going to be super excited. Oh, there we go. The conference. Here we go. Yeah. Tickets are still on sale, and we've got, oh my God, there's a bunch sold out as well. Yeah, it's going to be really good. There's going to be a lot of us from the Beyond Mystic shows that are going to be offering talks and services. Yeah, here we go. We've got, Janine and Penny and Meg, May, myself, and Ashala. Yeah, it's going to be very, very, very cool. I will be doing, and here's some keynote speakers as well. Yeah, I think there's even like a VIP meet and greet, and there's like a VIP dinner, and it's just really, really, really well done. The whole team's going to be there. Oh, we've got, Coco's going to be there too, and Jans and Sarah. Yes. All of this is amazing. I'm really, first of all, let me just say, I have not actually been able to meet most of this amazing team face to face. So number one, I'm excited to actually go and meet some of like these amazing souls that I get to share this platform with face to face. And just like watch their magic happen. I will be offering two things at the conference. First and foremost, I will be offering a group shamanic breath work. Those of you who are attending will not want to miss that, because it's really powerful when we actually do it in community. And I'll be talking a little bit more about what shamanic breath work is in like the following shows and all these things. And that'll be about like an hour workshop. And then I'll also be offering throughout the various days that I'm there, like little mini sacred oil anointing sessions. The sacred oil anointing is a temple art. It's an ancient temple art. You can go on once it's being posted and actually read the description. But essentially, I create these really sacred little oils. And the oils that I use are really, really refined. They are, I say refined in a way that they are very, what is this? Here we go. Yeah, they're very refined in terms of They are essential oils that are not created in bulk. I collaborate with very, very small, I would say like generational little companies. So it's like companies that, go on like 2, 3 generations. One I collaborate in Egypt with. It's a small farm that in Egypt that like handpicks all of their plants and then they create like the oils by hand. It's just beautiful. There's another one in the States that I collaborate with. And so basically these oils, like they are the truest essence of the soul of the plant, right? And when we understand how to work with plant consciousness, not just necessarily psychoactively, but also non-psychoactively, which is an art form that is like one of the most ancient art forms. Those of you who are very connected to the Magdalene have also heard of like the art of the Merfor and Magdalene, or the Magdalenes, or the Mars, the priestesses. They were all mistresses of the oils. They understood how to use the oils on different aspects of the body in order to help bridge oftentimes some of the more disconnected soul aspects of self, and how to like bring that back into the body, right? So yeah, I absolutely love this art form. I've been practicing it and trained in it. I've been using it in ceremony and ritual on others for like years. And I actually create my own particular oil concoctions in ceremony, like spoken word intention, prayer goes into all of it. And so those of you that'll be booking these little mini sessions with me will actually get a hands-on little oil experience. You'll just have to tell me what your intention is, and then we're going to work on that. And we're going to like bridge a couple of the little aspects of the energetics, bring back the energetics in the body. And I use a little bit of a chalice sound bowl to actually really augment the frequency and the expansion of the oils. So I'm really excited, guys. Like, I love this stuff. So I'm just happy to be able to share these ancient arts with you guys. So yeah. Let me see. What else do I have here? What's the large picture in the background? Oh, I'm assuming we're talking about this picture here. Yes, of course. Thank you. What is that picture? That is a picture of the goddess Maat. Maat is an ancient Egyptian goddess. She is, well, often it depends. Sometimes we refer to her as mother of all mothers, but she's the goddess of justice. She's the goddess of balance and the goddess of harmony, truth, right? She's very, what I like to say, it's sort of like she's like the sword, the sword of truth. And I absolutely connect with her deeply, and I love her very much. So that's why she overtakes my altar. Thank you for asking. Okay. Oh, and I like this. I spoke intention into the lucky bead on my dream catchers. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. Words create worlds. Our spoken word, especially with intention, is so powerful. So yeah, a really good way to work with like, real stones, real beads and crystals. Yes. What a beautiful way to connect oils. Yes. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Is anybody, whoever's watching here right now, is anybody actually coming to the conference? Like, give me a little comment in here and tell me if you're going to be coming to the conference or not. Let me see here. All right. Yeah. And if you have any questions around the oils, I'm happy to answer. And see, I always like, I don't know if you guys can see, but I put them in like little jars, and then we do a little oil anointing. I'm just putting it here for now. But yeah, all really, really sacred stuff. Like, oh, I see a bunch of stuff coming up here. Like crystal skulls. No, actually, I don't have any crystal skulls. It's never called me. Yes, rose is one of the highest vibration oils. It holds a really, really high frequency. So 100%. And I do work with rose a lot. Okay, are there any oils to block? Okay, this is a word I've never seen before. Brujeria? Brujeria? I have no idea what that is. If you can elaborate, that'd be great. I've never heard of that word before. Yes, what is brujeria or brujeria? I don't know. Never heard. Oh, witchcraft. Okay. There you go. Okay. There's a lot of oils too. Well, okay, so when we say block witchcraft, are we talking about like, so here's a funny thing. In my Sicilian lineage, which like many Mediterranean cultures and lineages, we have what's called the evil eye, or la maleocchio is what we call it in Italian. Is this what you mean? Like when somebody is actually like placing casting something upon you, or placing like a evil eye. I'm wondering, because witchcraft can also be a really good thing, and we shouldn't look at it always as a bad thing. But that's a whole other piece that I can unravel about like the witches and crafting and intention and all of these things, right? So there are definitely oils, and I'll give you two that I use that are really good for protection. And number one, it's spikenard. Spikenard is a root. It's actually, if you really go back to like the pre-biblical writings, and if you go back to like a lot of the scriptures, the Aramaic, like in ancient Greek or Aramaic, when actually I think it's even in the Bible, but they've kind of distorted it a little bit. But spikenard is literally what Magdalene used to anoint Yeshua's feet at the crucifixion, right? It wasn't just that. There was way more to the story, but the point is spikenard is what the ancient Egyptians would use through mummification to protect the soul as the soul went into the afterlife. So that's a really beautiful protection, spikenard. And another one is, oh my God, there's like so many that I can discuss. What's actually a really beautiful one too is rosemary. Rosemary is a beautiful protection energy as well. There's mugwort. Mugwort's really beautiful for clearing. And of course, sage, frankincense, myrrh. Yes, they're all beautiful. And they cure, like I have somebody here saying they cure most parasites. 100% in their purest form, they can actually do that. And remember sometimes what parasites are, right? Like what we're actually attracting energetically can actually manifest into something that's very parasitic. Yes, giving you bad juju. It's the maleocchio is what we call it in Sicilian. Yeah. Okay, I'm just reading some of these. My sister gave me something to eat that caused me to feel depressed and have negative thoughts. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, in terms of the oils, I wouldn't ingest spikenard. Just make sure that you're like reading up on, like, I mean, I do a whole thing on this, but like you wouldn't ingest the oil. Like you can put it topically, and most oils, when you put them topically, you want to put them on with like a carrier oil. So something like a coconut oil, or even like an olive oil or apricot kernel oil is also a really nice carrier oil that you can use to mix the essential oil with, so it doesn't burn your skin or anything like that. All right. Let me see. I will take like one or two more questions, and then we're close to ending here. Where are all the news comments? Have to avoid my tribe because they throw them looks at me, and I used to. Oh, you used to use spikenard. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, class in oils. Yes, I will likely be doing that eventually. Yeah, for sure. I definitely have a lot that I would love to share. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there on, the use of essential oils and aromatherapy, and a lot of dilution that I think needs to be spoken to and educated on, because a lot of people think that they're doing the right thing and they're purchasing from like a really good company, but there's a lot of dilution, and a lot of these bigger companies don't even know where the product, or like where the plant is coming from, like what farm it's coming from. It's not being hand poured. Like, remember, like these oils is also, it's like another form of plasma. It's another form of water, right? It, again, like I was saying before, it holds memory, it has code, it has consciousness, right? And the same thing we can do with water. We can pollute it simply with our words. We can pollute it with the environment. It's the same thing with the oils, right? If the oils are not carried with love and intention, like what kind of oil are you really getting, right? So a lot of stuff on the oils that I would love to share with everybody. I mostly use almond oil as carrier. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful carrier oil. Yeah. Yeah. Essential oils help my family get my son through his traumatic brain. 100%. The power of the oils. I love this. Thank you for sharing that. The power of the oils. We are just finally, I believe, really coming back to a lot of the ancient wisdom around how these oils were used, like medicinally, right? Um, they are powerful when we know what we're doing with them. So I highly encourage those of you who are feeling the pull, yeah, definitely like get your hands into some oils and see. Like, I mean, working with them is just like working with the crystals, right? It's very unique to who we are, our own soul code, how they want to communicate with us. And there's a lot of maybe I'll do that in a course one day. I'll teach you guys about like, yeah, the divine human and understanding sort of like the ancient Egyptian concepts of how they worked with plants and the oils. So when will you be releasing the information on Egypt? I don't know. I don't know. Shortly, I'm hoping to do that by March. So we shall see. But thank you for your interest. Yes, prayers to you and yours as well. Oh, I have an organic wild old allotment making my own oils now. Amazing. Amazing. It's so precious when you can actually make your own from scratch. Ugh, it's very, very precious. And I do make a lot of like my own like rosemary oils and concoctions when I utilize those for my own personal practice and for like practicing with like clients. I say practicing, but I mean, like when we're doing, ceremonies and especially, things around the womb, yoni steaming. I wouldn't necessarily be putting essential oils in the yoni steam, but I would be doing more just the herbs themselves. But actually doing womb-based oils and using oils along the sacral is really nourishing for the womb and really good to connect with. But if you want to know more, like I definitely can talk about those in the consults. All right. Okay, guys. So we are just about 5 minutes before ending, and I am going to just finish up with a little bit more of the housekeeping, just circling back to the Beyond Mystic platform. And again, don't forget to hit send, Beyond Mystic, and there's a ton of information and shows on here to help support you all through the various ways and pathways that you choose to do your healing. Yeah, it's just amazing stuff here. And yeah, there's the conference. So with that too, if you guys still have questions around the conference, go take a look at all the information. Lots of good stuff happening there as well. And yeah. Oh, yes. And last but not least, let us not forget Ascension Organites. Okay. We have our beautiful silver jewelry on sale. And it's, as you can see, the biggest jewelry sale of the year for 20% off. Yeah, so go check that out. And yeah, I just really, really appreciate you all for taking the time to come on to the Sacred Mysteries Show. And yeah, I'm happy to be back and happy to unravel deeper mysteries with you guys. And yeah, so much more to come in the future. Just yeah, getting my toes wet again here. And yeah, just loving all your questions, loving all your shares. Don't forget to go to my website if you can, to just subscribe to my newsletter if you want to read more about what I was talking about. My website is www.intemana.ca. That's Intemana, temana.ca, and you can go and yeah, just check out my newsletter. You can subscribe to it, and I promise I will not be bombarding you guys every week with newsletters. I don't do that kind of thing. I only write when I'm really like feeling called to. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, and any other way to contact me, you can follow my Instagram or follow me on LinkedIn. And of course, on this amazing platform here at Beyond Mystic. So thank you guys so much. I'm sending you all love, and I'm leaving you all with, my deepest intention that may you all walk a path of deeper truth.